There's a type of love interest that's way more interesting than regular love interests. I'm talking about characters who aren't just there for romance, but actually feel like real people who make the story better. This is something we see in a lot of anime and manga. Why are some of these characters so awesome that they make their entire series better, while others are completely forgettable and kind of boring? To find the answer, I'm going to compare two famous characters from Evangelion, Ray Ayanami and Asuka Langley Soryu, and figure out what makes a perfect love interest character. Number 1. Every good love interest needs to be more than just someone's crush. To show how interesting they really are, they need moments where we see who they are as a person, not just as a romantic option. The audience needs to understand that this character has their own life, problems and personality. Not just, oh yeah, they like the main character, but genuinely, this person has their own stuff going on. Let me start with Asuka Langley Soryu from Evangelion. From the moment she shows up, the story tells you that Asuka is a talented EVA pilot with a huge ego and needs to be the best at everything, and they show you this all the time. Throughout the series, Asuka's entire self-worth depends on being the best pilot. She's not just confident, she's desperately trying to prove she matters by being better than everyone else. When she fails in battle or someone does better than her, we see her tough exterior start to crack. Her interactions with Shinji aren't really about romance. They're about her need to feel important and her fear of being worthless. The whole thing reveals how insecure she actually is underneath all that pride. So Asuka gets the badge of being a complex character. But what about one of the most mysterious love interests in anime, Ray Ayanami from the same series? The first time this character appears, we immediately know something is different about her. Unlike Asuka, who shows all her emotions loudly, Ray is quiet, distant, and seems emotionless. But here's the cool part. Ray's emotionless appearance isn't because she's boring. Throughout the series, we learn about her connection to Gendo, how she's actually a clone and can be replaced, and how she quietly questions whether her life even matters. There's this powerful moment where she starts wondering what it means to be herself, whether she has a soul, whether her feelings are real. She's not just mysterious for no reason. Her character makes us think about deep questions about identity and what makes us human. Every scene with her reveals something new. That's when we realize that what looked like no emotions was actually her thinking about really deep stuff. Ray has the badge of being a complex character. Number 2, just having romantic drama doesn't automatically make a love interest interesting. The difference between amazing love interest characters and boring ones is whether they have their own goals and importance in the story. I know this sounds obvious, but hear me out. If a character only exists to create romance and has no purpose beyond the main character, then congratulations, that's a boring character. Think about it. If the audience knows a character only matters when they're with the protagonist, why should they care about that character? The perfect example is Asuka. Her role in the story isn't just to be Shinji's possible girlfriend. She has her own story about dealing with trauma, needing to achieve things, and eventually breaking down. Her story shows how childhood trauma and being abandoned by parents makes someone desperately need approval from others. When she can't pilot her EVA well anymore and loses her abilities, it's not about how this affects her relationship with Shinji. It's about her complete mental breakdown because her entire identity was based on being the best. This creates really intense drama where her story matters on its own. You care about what happens to Asuka, whether there's romance or not, because she feels like a real person dealing with serious psychological problems. Ray also does this perfectly. Her role in the story goes way beyond being a love interest. She's super important for understanding the Human Instrumentality Project, Gendo's secret plans, and the show's big ideas about what it means to be human. Her quiet thoughts and existential questions drive some of the deepest themes in the show. The fact that Shinji develops feelings for her is almost less important than her role in the bigger story about consciousness, human connection, and the nature of the soul. The important thing is that both characters have their own goals and meaning beyond romance. They're not just there to make the protagonist feel something, they make the audience feel something and think about something. Number 3, being a love interest should connect to the character's deeper issues. The best love interest characters aren't just romantically available, their potential relationships show their deeper struggles and what the story is really about. Their connections with the protagonist reveal something important about who they are. Asuka's interactions with Shinji aren't really about romance, they're about two broken people who can't connect because of their trauma. Asuka desperately needs people to value her, but pushes everyone away. Her feelings for Shinji mix with disgust because she sees his weakness as a reminder of her own hidden weakness. Every romantic moment between them is actually about loneliness, not being able to talk to each other, and how trauma stops real connection. The famous hospital scene isn't romantic. It's the sad result of two people who can't reach each other even though they desperately need to. For Ray, her quiet care for Shinji connects to her growing sense of being her own person and being human. As she starts to question her existence and develop feelings, it shows her journey toward becoming more than just a tool or a doll. Her sacrifice and coming back to life throughout the series isn't about romance. It's about her learning what it means to make choices, to care, to be human. Her relationship with Shinji helps show her transformation from being an object to being a real person. The romantic stuff serves the characters' deeper stories rather than just existing for drama. Both characters make Evangelion go from a robot anime to a deep psychological story. They're not just extras in the protagonist's journey, they're essential parts of it. All these things together are the difference between a forgettable romantic character and a love interest that people will talk about and analyze for decades. The best love interests are just great characters who happen to have romantic potential.